Retro green Jordan 4s, vintage, dead stock, bootleg t-shirts, vintage polo. All of these terms might be unfamiliar to the non-streetwear enthusiasts. But for streetwear enthusiasts, these are terms in the back of their minds. Why? Because it's it's $1 million industry where kids and young adults have found a way to penetrate the market simply by reselling t-shirts and reselling sneakers. So why do these teens and young adults spend so much time and so much money and so much on social media simply for these t-shirts and sneakers? Let's find out.
What is streetwear to you guys?
How do you answer this without pissing everybody off?
You have to have it explained to you, you won't understand.
If you gonna make a streetwear brand, it shit better stand for something. And it shit better be authentic.
I think that streetwear is like where young, innovative people do something that kind of breaks the mold.
It can't be this.
In your own words, when someone says or asks, what is streetwear? To you, what does that mean?
I think there's three aspects to it. One is music, art, and fashion. So this is leather, suede.
Born and raised in Indonesia, Shaka Lahardo was first introduced to streetwear during his travels to Japan. The love of the culture intensified when he moved to New York. It was in New York's Soho where he found out that everyone has their own take on streetwear. Though his specific interest within the culture is the convergence of designer brands and streetwear, he also collects collaboration sneakers, Supreme t-shirts and hoodies, and even streetwear toys and art. How much would this go for retail?
I think reselling is an important aspect of streetwear. It's the price that gives it the hype and the value. So these kids like buying it or like these kids holding it and selling it, eventually it alters the market.
How long have you been waiting?
Since 1:30 in the morning.
10 hours probably.
12 hours.
Since like 6 o'clock yesterday.
A long time.
Wait that long.
I want to get overpriced clothing that show that I make a lot of money.
What do you do?
Money.
I collect my parents' allowance.
I got a job and I trap on the side.
You what?
I trap on the side.
Where do you get the money to buy this?
I work.
What do you do?
I sell drugs.
Do you like lining up? Is it fun?
Not really. I was mainly complaining the entire time.
It's an experience, you know, it's like worth it.
So you make friends here?
Yeah, kind of. Everybody's a fuckboy.
Oh, the hype, logo, all that shit. Yeah.
You like the hype?
Yes.
The fact that it's worth more than what you buy for.
I like the money I can make off of it.
So you're reselling?
Of course.
Are you reselling?
No, I'm keeping this shit to
You're
myself.
keeping it.
Hell yeah.
If I pass on these items right now, this would be the pile we'd take right here. I'd probably be at like 470 cash or 500 store credit. 470 and 75.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Yeah, have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
I think social media is definitely like the biggest player of, the biggest way information is shared. So Instagram, I use it daily just to see what's going to release. So on Instagram, people usually post like leaks of like what's going to release this week, or where certain drops are going to be at and stuff like that. So it's just the information just spreads like crazy, especially in New York. And Facebook groups are sort of like the place to meet people, and because like your Facebook page is sort of like, if you have activity and you have a lot of friends, it shows you're kind of like a legit person, and that proves like your identity. And like I would go on Facebook groups, and then there are specific groups like base or buying, selling, like streetwear in New York. where people will just post like items and people would meet up.
So for outsiders that don't know the game, you know, that don't know the how much prices are hiked up in resale, do you mind just letting people know how much a retail, I guess, box logo would be versus a resale of a box logo?
So, where did the logo come from? The word Supreme, written in a white Futura bold oblique font inside a red rectangle. This logo came about when Jebbia's friend mocked up the original designs, which he felt looked a little flat. So he lent them a book on New York conceptual artist Barbara Kruger for some inspiration. Kruger's work uses bold, contrasting colors to create anti-authoritative, anti-capitalist maxims and slogans. Thanks to social media networks like Instagram and Facebook, the Supreme box logo is now more widespread than ever, with a Google brand survey ranking it among the coolest brands as perceived by millennials.
I would say it varies, but on average, a box logo t-shirt is probably $36 retail. And if you consider like the resale price, it's usually at 10 times the price. So just like, well, it depends. Yeah, an average box logo t-shirt would sell for like $300, and like a hoodie, it would cost around like $158 or $156. And that would resell for up to like $700, $500 to $1,000 around that. And you can't really go wrong because it's simple but iconic, and people just go crazy. So I think what's appealing is just you have that logo stamped in the middle, and it's all the history, all the branding behind it is concluded in just one piece of clothing, and people just instantly recognize it as Supreme. And I think because it's so clean and pure, that's what people love it. That's why people love it. Yeah.
Lajardo points to individuals' different takes as the source of rebellion. Outsiders looking in may point to the lucrative nature of streetwear, but for those lining up, dressing up, and reselling online, the culture is a means of living differently and going against the standards of society.
I think the brand is so fucking powerful that it's making me buy a fucking crowbar.
That's why he's getting the crowbar. He needs to trap. That's really it. The crowbar and the Swiss Army knife. That's all you need to trap, man.
Why does everyone want the crowbar?
Because it's a fucking crowbar. Are you fucking serious?
What are you gonna do with it?
Fucking nothing, but I'm gonna own a fucking crowbar now, so that's the fucking shit.
So you've been waiting 10 hours for a crowbar that says Supreme?